Family, peace and light,
Right.
peace and love. And thank you for getting with me this week on the Sirius Cipher. We talking about the Hermit today. The Hermit today. Happy Groundhog Day to those of us that know what all of that shit's about. Um, Unfortunately, what's going on, Brother Dante? Unfortunately, this sucker, this groundhog, he saw his shadow again. What a bitch nigga. That's all I got to say about him. His name, so according, if you're not hip to how Groundhog Day works, okay, they got this groundhog in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. They call him Punxsutawney Phil. And when he comes out, if he sees his shadow, then that means that we're going to have 6 more weeks of cold weather. And this punk ass groundhog saw his damn shadow. And this is why he is called Punks, a Tawny Field. Because he's always seeing his. I don't remember a time that he has not seen his shadow. I was hoping this year that he did not see his shadow. Unfortunately, he did. At least every time I look into it. Let me get that twisted. But fuck you, Phil. That's all I got to say with that. You need to walk with your head up. We don't need no damn. But on the flip side, he's only accurate 40% of the time, according to some I looked up on the website to see just how accurate this cat is, because I don't appreciate this shit. But he's only accurate 40% of the time. So let's hope this chump is wrong. I ain't dealing with you. What's going on, Brother Dante, in the house for the cipher today? Happy Thursday to those.
What's up? What's going on?
What's
Phil.
going on? What's going on? What you up to today? Just
Same thing I was last time.
word.
In
Still
the
out there
in the
collecting
trees. Gonna
word,
go home because it's getting dark.
word. What's
And I don't
going?
have a flashlight.
Okay. Oh, it's dark now. Where you
Just
at?
getting there.
Okay, I was about to say it's definitely dark in Pittsburgh. Definitely dark.
I got a
What's
messed up.
going on? God is raw. I see you in the house. What's up, lady?
Yeah, I'm hoping I'll get it a little better. It's kind of a little bit choppy because yeah, it's in the woods, so it's kind of yeah.
Okay.
The nature is fucking with the cell phone data. The signal, because it's so much anti cell phone energy out, anti antenna energy out here is kind of making it a little choppy.
Okay.
But yeah, what was you saying? Who's Phil?
Punxsutawney Phil is this punk groundhog that's always seeing this shadow. I just seen Goddess Ra step in, so peace to her. Once she gets situated, we'll have her step in and give a quick shout out. So yeah, this is this groundhog in Pennsylvania. We got this punk groundhog. His name is Punxsutawney Phil. So every year on Groundhog Day in Pennsylvania, this chump groundhog comes out of this hole. He always sees his shadow. He always predicts that it's going to be cold, and I just don't appreciate him. And this year, yet again, he has predicted that we will have 6 more weeks of cold weather. Every time he sees his shadow, that means that we will get 6 more weeks of cold weather. I can't stand Punxsutawney Phil right about now because it was cold in the champ up here. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So with that,
I didn't know who that was. Okay.
right. Well, I'm gonna let you know. Nobody. The hell with you, Phil. What's going on, Goddess Rob?
What's going on? I'm trying to get myself together. How's everything going?
It is all good. Peace and light, peace and love. What's going on, Sadia in the house? Getting it cracking for the cipher. I just telling them about how this daggone groundhog saw his shadow. Now it's gonna be cold for another 6 weeks, so they say. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed that he got it all wrong. So it's whatever. So yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to wish everybody a happy Thursday and let you guys know about Thursdays and where I'm at with that. On Thursday, I picked that day because it's connected to, hold up, let me mute Brother Dante because he out in the wilderness out here in these streets. But every Thursday, I light a candle for justice. We got so much injustice that's going on in this world. And I really think that if we begin to focus on our intentions, on that which we would like to see, instead of spending our energy fighting against the things that we don't want, that we will be more effective collectively. And so every Thursday, my power color is red. I was using gold because that's the day for Jupiter. That's the color for Jupiter with that prosperity, expansion, and all of that, right? But my power color is red personally. And so I started using my red candles to light my candle every week with that intention that we see some justice out here in these streets. Like, this has got to come to an end. It is so unfortunate what happened over there in Memphis. And I know that, this was a result of our own kind. However, we need to really take a look at just how we're seeing ourselves, how we're being perceived in this world. And this is all a part of that whole beast we call racism and white supremacy out here in these streets. And it's not a thing about being anti anybody else when you're trying to be pro yourself. And so with that, I want to call on everybody of all races and all creeds to demand that we start getting justice out here in these streets. And one of those ways for us to truly receive our justice is by making sure that we get reparations out here, because there's a debt that's owed to those of us that's in the African diaspora, and we will never be treated or seen or perceived as equals until we get our just due, just as the Japanese, just as the Jewish, and apparently just as damn as Ukraine, whatever. However, we need justice out here in these streets. We need justice. However, all right, let me get off my soapbox. Boom, boom. Moon in Cancer today. So, that's where I'm at, all on my emotional thing. That's why I'm swole with Phil and, all worked up and everything. And, got that home vibe that's going on and everything. So, so let's check in with everybody. How's it go? Goddess Ra, are you situated yet? I'm trying to give everybody an opportunity.
I'm situated.
All right, now what's going on? How's it going, madam?
It's going. It is going, honey. Yes, it's going. It's going.
Yes.
How's it going for you?
Beautifully, beautifully. I cannot complain. Uh-oh, Sheila, what's going on over there, miss?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Everything is going and going. It ain't gone, but it's going.
I heard that. It's good to be here with the Soul family today. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Good vibes. And
yeah, it's time. It's time. You know what I'm saying? I've been waiting for everybody to just, we've been rocking for a minute. If you've been rocking with Miss Blue Planet Remix, we've been rocking for a minute. And I've always wanted us to be able to move in coordinates with Planet Remix, but also get something going within us. We done all taken self-invested, some more than others, and things like that. We've taken so many things, and it is time, just like time. You know what I'm saying? I have pushed my energy into a lot of the Remix family and received a lot of energy. So it's just definitely time to build on that. So I'm just here for it all. It feels so good to have a tribe to be able to do these kind of things with and actually create something in the process. So I am so here for it on every level. So ready for it.
I know that's real, sis. I know that's real. And I was telling Miss Blue a couple weeks ago, I said, I'm just so overwhelmed with the support from the Soul family with Planet Remix. That Soul family has just really been so supportive, so loving. And you know what I'm saying? That's like everything, especially for those of us that have people that just really don't get where we coming from, you know what I'm saying? And just to be
Absolutely.
that to connect with folks that get it is just, that's everything, Yeah.
Mhm.
It is. It really is. That's why, on Fridays and Sundays for the last 10 years of my life, it's just been like, no, let me get with my folks. And it's kind of been limited to that. And I'm like, man, can we move above it? Can we add? Can we? And now
Yes.
these things are happening and everybody is, branching out from that with all of the love and support from Miss Blue that you can get. And like I said, I'm just so ready for it because it's been times I've needed to have conversations and I'm like, oh man, bitch, I can't, man, I can't. So you know what I'm saying? I'm here for it. I'm just ready. Hey, come on with the dishes, man.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, I'm here for it. And I got to tell you, see, because I do believe that this is what the intention was, is to be able to build those individuals that can get out there and spread some light out here in this world. And so, here we go, and even those individuals that I'm connected to that definitely get what we're talking about, that's not connected to the Planet Remix. That whole soul
Yes.
as of yet, as of yet, but those individuals that's not, that I'm connected to as well, just to be able to have that support and just know that, wait, there's more, there's a rabbit hole, we got a larger soul group, and just to be able to connect us to those and the other soul groups that's out there, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what's going to really make us more impactful, to be able to connect with all of the other people that's out there doing their things, even if they're outside of Planet Remix. Because,
Absolutely.
I got linked up through Brother Panic. I'm one of his students, And
Okay.
so, yeah, so when you know what I'm saying, so when I started like listening to a lot of the work that he was doing when he was working with Miss Blue, it was really life-changing and impactful. And and that just led me to really begin to gravitate a lot towards a lot of the work that she was doing. Her light was definitely calling a sister. So yeah, so that's all good there. But I wanted to talk just a little bit. If you guys are a moon ladies, because I'm gonna tell you something. I'm a big moon person, And so one of my things, I really like to make sure that um then I'm aware of where the position of the moon is each and every day. But in particular, we got this special moon that's coming up for me in my heart, this Leo moon that's coming through. Now, my sun sign is Leo, but my moon is Cancer. And so this Leo moon that's coming up, this is all about us really opening up, expanding, really showing up and showing out and everything. Is anybody vibe with that moon, or you know what I'm saying, that whole moon energy vibe, or no? Or is that, I'm good with being that person.
Yeah, I get into it. I get into it some. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've been learning so much about everything, but the moon is my thing. And actually my moon is in Leo. My sun is in Sagittarius. And so I totally feel what you said about what that means, the moon that's coming up
Yeah.
in Leo, what that means, because that's what I feel.
Mm.
And so it's like I'm in the position like Sheila, create a blueprint for your life so you can get some commitment and consistency, and then you run with it. And
Yeah.
so right now I'm in a position of trying to prioritize everything I need to have in my nuclear circle, every podcast, every class, every meditation. I need to really blueprint it out because I also have to blueprint out how I'm going to govern my finances. I was challenged, and this is a big number, but shit, I don't give a shit. We was challenged yesterday to make $100,000 this year outside of our investments. Now I ain't got no job, Keisha.
Me neither. All right.
Okay. And so I was like, I know that I could do it. because I've turned down opportunities because I wasn't organized. I ain't got my shit together. And that's just what it is. I could do it and I'd be willing. But then when it comes to somebody asking me, I get overwhelmed. You know how many people want me to make videos for them and I know I could do it? But then when it comes time to doing it, I'm like, man, this shit is too much because I don't have a blueprint. I don't even know what to call it. I don't even know how to charge for it. All I know is that it comes from the ethers and it takes a lot of energy for me to create them. And I put them out and they say so many things, you know, tributes, all kind of things I could be doing. People approach me for commercials and I'm like, I got to get my stuff together. So by Valentine's Day, I'm hoping to have this blueprint for myself that would consist of everything that I want to just keep in my nuclear circle that will offer me the reciprocity I need in order to try to see this thing through to the end. So I'm taking the challenge. You know, I'm taking the challenge. I ain't never made that money in my life. So
I'm excited for you. I am excited for you, sis. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. We'll definitely figure it out. I can feel that. You'll get it. Yes, let's get it, man. That's what I'm talking about. Stepping into
so I feel it. I feel it.
Yes, yes. And that work you doing, like I see it, is powerful, it's impactful. So definitely, you'll figure out how you already got a system down, at least. You know what I'm saying? And hey, listen, I am definitely here for it. And if there's anything that I can be of assistance with, let me know. And you know what I'm saying? That I'm here for it. You know, I'm definitely happy to support in any way that I can. So definitely.
Collabs are definitely in order.
Absolutely.
People, collaborations are definitely in order. People be wanting me to come speak and I'd be like, I don't. So yeah, I'm that's why I'm staying connected, because I'm like, I got authors in my hand. I have this, you know, my family is readily available. Like y'all are awesome. So I'm ready.
Right now.
I'm in the process of getting it already.
Let's get it. Let's get it, man. I am super excited, man. I got to tell you the other thing I want to talk about. If anybody is supposedly scheduled for surgery around that new moon, like that's kind of discouraged around that particular time and everything. So, you know, that's another thing I just wanted to put out there just in case, because, you know, there's a lot of folks that's showing up in hospitals and whatnot. And so, you know, there's that. So, but anyway, I wanted to move forward and see if there was anybody that got any channels, any downloads, any information from spirit that might be of assistance at this point. All right. So I did get some channels. I'm like been in channel mode, and it has been, you know, so heavy to the point to where it was my energy was just like so depleted at a point and everything. But typically, you know, I get a lot of channels, and so but typically I'll do that towards the end after we have that conversation and everything, and then just let really give to everyone what spirit had placed in my heart. But one of the things that came through was an animal totem, was my personal animal totem, the falcon. And so that was the other thing that I've been lighting. I use my little falcon candle right here, and I light that up every Thursday, just about every day too. Sometimes it's all depending, let spirit move me, whatever and everything. But when the falcon shows up, the falcon is definitely here to let us know that there's an opportunity before you. However, you got to be patient and trust your instincts. You got to pay close attention to natural rhythms. And the choices that you make, you got to make the choice, fully commit, and take the plunge. And so this is a time right now for you to focus on the things that you want, as opposed to the things that you don't want. We got to have direct and laser focus so that we can really tune in to the frequency of that which it is that we're trying to get. This is one of those things we already know, you know what I'm saying, with manifestation, that whole law of attraction and everything, of being in alignment and being on the right vibration so that we can attract those things that we want. We cannot get into a frequency or the vibration of what it is that we want when we focus on those things that we don't want. The only thing we do is start pulling in more of what we don't want, because we done sent the universe a message that we want more of the bullshit, and absolutely not. So shout out to the Falcon coming through. So anybody have any dreams, any other of that came through or anything like that? I know, see, the soul family, we get, you know what I'm saying, some of that stuff. And, you know, I just, you know, like to check in to see so that, you know, maybe, you know, we got parallel dreams. Maybe there's something that might help me along my journey, however, whatever. Okay. Anybody reading any good books? Anything y'all want to recommend out here in these streets? At this particular time, I'm reading this book by Albert. Oh, fuck, I forgot to bring that up here. But anyway, this book by Albert Taylor is called The Soul Traveler. And this was a book, Miss Blue recommended this book to me in class last week. And I done ran through that book already. I finished that book last night. And this is really more about speaking to astral projection and the techniques involved with that. You know, she's been challenging me to do a little deeper work in this process of astral projection, where I've been trying to dip in and dip out of that. But what I wasn't realizing is that, you know, once you get in there and you start thinking any low vibration thoughts, it kind of brings you right back out of that. And so this guy was given account by count of his experience with that whole astro travel, which was absolutely helpful, phenomenal, and excellent. And it really solidified the importance of vibration, especially when doing spiritual work, because what we end up doing is putting ourselves in a vibration that we really don't want to be. It's an ineffective vibration, put it that way. So, you know, if I'm going in there, like I was looking into some of the stuff that's going on in Haiti, there's some shiesty shit going on over there. And it was really hard for me to stay in a high vibration, because I'm going in there and seeing they living in shit, fuck, squalid conditions. You know what I'm saying? And as soon as I observed that, I'm out, you know, so there's that. So, yeah. And then, you know, then that whole energy of the family had been coming up for so many of us in this soul group. And I had placed a post that was up there, and it reminded me of the dream that I had not too long ago, where I was really out and I was, you know, talking to people about the work that I do, how it's helped me along my journey. And I'm feeling like in a really good place. And in the dream, one of my family members, they get the meow, 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 and hit the switch in me, and the gangster came out. And I said some things, and I shook the whole goddamn house up. And as I'm capable of doing, you know what I'm saying? And stepped into my human self, you know what I'm saying? As I was trying to show up all ascended and shit. And it really, and it hit me, you know, with spirit, you know, hit me with a song by Diggable Planets. It was called The Eighth Wonder, and where she said, we played you, we made you change, straight New York you. And I said, oh shit. And so it just really put me in that whole thought process. And I thought about how easily we can be taken off of our square when our triggers is hit. And so I really wanted to put some information out there about, you know, just so that we can be a little self-aware. It's not to really look down upon anybody for losing their shit or for stepping outside or stepping off the square. However, you know what I'm saying? It happens. We did it. Let's move forward. You know what I'm saying? And keep it going. So that's where we at with that. So anyway, I wanted to talk some more today. This week, we talking about that Hermit energy. Anybody know anything about the tarot card system or any of that? Or the Hermit energy within itself?
I do not, but I I said that I wanted to know it. Yeah, I said I wanted to know it. So
Hey, let's get it. Well, then, hey, I'm here for this. I am here for this. So the Hermit in the tarot system. See, one of the things that Spirit led me to do was really start guiding the Sirius cipher through the tarot system. This is called the Sirius cipher because Sirius is the star that's connected to the masters. And so many of us, even if we're newer on our spiritual path, the fact that we're being drawn to this work, the fact that we're a part of this particular soul group shows that, we have that spiritual connection. The tarot card system is a system of enlightenment. And what it does is it shows us the various energies that we experience. And it starts off with the Fool's Journey and it ends with the World card, which shows, the attainment and all of that at the end of the day. And it goes through different versions of energies that we all experience throughout our times. And so the Hermit energy is connected to the astrological sign Virgo and the planet Mercury. The Hermit is about soul searching, solitude, spiritual enlightenment, guidance. But then on the other end, the Hermit is connected to loneliness, isolation, paranoia, sadness, and feeling overcome. But I got this modern witch tarot because I was teaching myself how to do tarot, and also watching a lot of other cats that do tarot. I'm very observant, and so I was learning that way. They have taught me a lot. I've learned so much, but I got a lot of books on that and really began studying tarot and really got a lot out of just working that system and everything. And so when Spirit laid that on my heart, I was all in. So let me talk about just a little snippet. This book gives such an excellent explanation of these energies throughout this system and just how to utilize the whole tarot system so that you can get the most benefit from it. And this is called the Modern Witchcraft Book of Tarot by Sky Alexander. And on here, I'm just going to read this caption here. This says, when the Hermit appears in a reading, it can mean that a guide figure is at hand offering help. This is a card that advises you to meet this or begin to search your own truth. Sometimes the clergy member, but usually it refers to inner guidance, getting in touch with a spirit guide. The Hermit can recommend withdrawing from our busyness and distractions of the outer world to do some soul searching. So when people talk about going in the hermit mode, this is usually that time where people go away for solitude. Is there anybody, let me ask y'all a question. Introvert or extrovert? Goddess, I'm gonna start with Goddess Ross since I see her first up on the thing. Would you call yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
Introvert.
Introvert.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. I love staying alone.
Yeah.
I cannot stay around too many people for too long. I have to retreat and go to my spot.
I know that. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that. Absolutely. Brother Dante, what about you? Would you say you were an introvert or extrovert?
I don't. I guess an extrovert. I think so.
People
I
person.
don't know. I'm still adjusting. I'm still finding out, really, because I'm going through periods of not wanting to be around nobody, and periods of being very social, back and forth. And so it's almost. But overall, I like being around people and I like helping people. So I think it will be that. But also, depending on if I feel overwhelmed or like whoever I'm trying to helping and getting it, I may take it personal, which ain't supposed to happen. So I would need to become an introvert in that instance.
Right.
So it just but mainly, yeah, I like being around but the right people though, the right vibes, not if it's a bunch of ratchet bullshit going on, like I don't want to be around none of that. I'm gonna turn into an intro, not even turn into one, because I'm gonna still be fully involved. I'm just not gonna necessarily mix my energy in or feel like I'm understanding my place by being present. So what I did want to throw out there though, I was trying to figure out why last week or whatever, when I was in the woods and I started talking and talking and talking like that, because I
Mm.
didn't do that before my first few times or whatever, was because the question you asked was what are you up to or what you doing? You said something like that. And
Mhm.
that's why I went on, like I was just talking and talking and talking, because that's I'm getting familiar with me and I can talk about me. So I did want to explain that because I was trying to figure out, I was like, where did all that come from? Because I mainly I'm like a student just like everybody else, but if I don't know enough, like I said, about something, I'm not really finna speak on it. But when you ask like what I'm doing, and I happen to be in the woods getting resins and
Mhm.
waxes or leaves and stuff and making baths, that's why I was speaking like that. So if I get quiet now, it's just because I don't know nothing about like the hermit or whatever. Like I don't really know too much about that. So
Right.
and this is a perfect example of I'm not really talking. And then
Yeah.
another thing I wanted to say was when you said what can someone just starting off, what would you suggest for them? Like any suggestions or where would they start at or make a part of their practice or whatnot? And something did dawn on me, and that was being fully present and staying in a frequency of love. So that's
Absolutely.
what anybody can do if they just coming into consciousness, and that should lead them into whatever aspect of consciousness they feel strongest in or want to deal with the most. Because I still stand on the fact that I don't really feel, there's no set ways or anything like that. But if you fully present in the vibration of love, like spirit leads you. So
Right.
nobody could be able to tell you what anybody should be doing because they figuring out themselves like in real time. And
Absolutely.
yeah, that's all.
Absolutely. And Brother Dante, I do want to make sure, I had no expectation that anybody would really know. If you know tarot, you know it, and that's even a bonus and everything. But what we do know is our observation. Once I tell you what that energy is, we see how we observe it in this world. And when we see that, and
Most definitely.
right,
Like
and
I
when
can
we see
I
that,
can
we
read.
speak to it.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely. And so that's, you know what I'm saying? But that's where that is and everything. But it's all good. And I'm so glad that you came in and demonstrated last week, really what that Hierophant energy looks like. Because see, it doesn't look like the person that remembers and can regurgitate the lesson that he was taught. You know what I'm saying? It's the guy like you that's out here in these streets showing up, grabbing the sap out these trees because you got a reason for them. You know what I'm saying? Not because you just out here just taking sap off of trees just for shits and giggles, just so that somebody can look at you and post your picture on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh
you
yeah,
out doing this
just
work
following
for a
my heart.
reason. Right,
It's
absolutely.
following my heart. That's why I said I
Absolutely.
didn't know what definition. When you say the hermaphat or whatever this is called, like
Yeah.
that's a word. That's a new word. But I could now that you describe how you're describing it, I
Yeah.
guess I understand what that is now. But before, it's a word. Like it's just a word
Absolutely.
I didn't know. So
Right.
that's why I try to understand energy more than words because all
Absolutely.
energies can't really be put into words. So
Absolutely.
it's always going to be a new word. There's another word for that. You know, I can't give it to you right now, but I'm just saying like there's probably 10 more words that sound just like that or slight variations of that. So
Absolutely.
once I understand the energy and what frequency I'm in, and
Mhm.
then somebody explains, "Oh, you're doing that." I'm like, "Oh, okay, I guess I am." So yeah,
Absolutely.
you taught me something new. That's
Absolutely.
what energy I was using at that moment.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's, you know what I'm saying, intentionally, you know what I'm saying? This is all for our expansion. And that's, you know what I'm saying, why I invite people to the table that I can learn from so that we can all learn from each other and build. But uh-oh, Sheila, I forgot to ask you, introvert, extrovert.
All of it. I, you know, I can identify with all of it. I embrace the moments where I definitely want to be alone. And then there are moments where I know I have to reach out and touch, and I really enjoy being around people. I enjoy both times. I say if I had a preference, my alone time is the best time, you know.
Mm.
I would wake up, you know, just everything alone. At 21 and things, when everybody at that time in the 90s was out doing the thing, it was a wonderful time. I would go to restaurants by myself, movies by myself, and people would be like, why do you do that? And you know, I always been this way, so I just have to be my personality. In the 90s, we said bitch so much, so it's still just a part of my repertoire. So I would be like, bitch, because I want to. It's nothing
Right.
wrong with that.
Right.
You know?
Right. I say, yeah, I say that a lot too, but you know, I'm trying to make sure that I'm, you know what I'm saying, that I'm careful because everybody
Right. So I just putting out the disclaimer, you know, blame
Yes.
Too Short from the 90s. That's just, and Snoop and all of that, that's where it came from, you know, that's what we said a lot, but you know, being
Same
one
era,
thing.
same era here.
There you go.
Okay. Okay, sis. So yeah, same era. And this, you know what, for me, in the 90s, when I was in my 20s, that was the time when I was really more of an extrovert. I used to have an entourage of friends. My phone used to ring every day. I was always on the phone with somebody. I always had a room full of company and shit. And as I got older and I got more settled, I'm married now and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's nobody, me and my husband, we sit in here and the phone never fucking rings unless somebody needs something. How about that? You know? And so I'm good with that. I've shifted into an introvert. And I think for me, it's been with me studying the spiritual journey that I've been on. It's brought me into what we call that hermit mode, where I've been spending a lot of time in reflection, spending a lot of time in meditation, spending a lot of time, you know, working on myself so that when I get out here in this world, you know, I will be in a space to be able to navigate these streets with a little bit of sanity, you know?
I totally get it.
Yeah.
It all works. You know, I don't know. There are moments where I am introverted, you know, whatever it calls. I live by the moment. So I could be an introvert one day and an extrovert and the next day, a hermit this time and a hierophant the next time, you know. I embody all the energies and I grace them however they see fit. So I live my life like the tarot deck without even having understanding of what it is. I just totally embrace the energies like what Dante does. I do that all the time, you know. It's just what I call myself is a Muppet, a weirdo. The Muppets were just a bunch of weirdos. That's why I even refer to Dante as one of the Muppets, because we weirdos and I love that shit, you know. So yeah, however it fits.
Absolutely, and we absolutely, everybody, and that's just like a part of the human experience. And this is why I think for me too, you know, my background is in behavioral health. And so, you know, I'm totally interested in the mind and how that works, and particularly like deviant shadow behavior and shit like that, and what motivates us. And so, you know, this was like an easy connection for me, just to be able to talk about when we get into what we call this hermit mode, where we're spending time alone, we're reflecting, we're meditating, we're doing that. Now, some of us, we get more growth, we get more enlightened by spending time out there in the world. But people like me, I'm one of these people that this is how I power up. I charge up by withdrawing and spending a lot of time contemplating, meditation, reading, whatever it is. Like, I have to withdraw. I'll get off of social media and everything for a while. Sometimes I'll just get on there, throw some stuff that's out there that I need to, you know, and get the hell up off of there. You know what I'm saying? Because I just need that time for solace and solitude. You know, I really do. And I'm one of those people now. I think that, you know, for some of us, like major life changes can bring upon the hermit mode. And that's all about spending that time alone time, that time where you kind of powering up and everything. But does that, is there anybody else, does that help them, or is it better for them to get out and about and be around people? Like, how does that work? How do you power up the best? That's anybody's question, whoever.
Now, for me,
Mm,
I am so used to being by myself that I'm at a point now that I have to actually start forcing myself to get out. I haven't made it to that point yet, but I'm still forcing myself, you know, telling myself I need to do this, I need to do that.
mm,
So, the way yeah, me powering up, that is being alone. Like when I've had too much time out and about, if I'm by myself, like in my car, I like to get in my car and just drive, you know, especially now it's raining. I would love to get in my car and just drive. I'm still alone though. But powering up is being alone, is for me being alone. So anytime if I am with a lot of people, I have to retreat and I have to go by myself and just power up. And you know that works best for me. I have to get myself to the point where I am used to getting out and going places because I'm just used to being by myself. I love my own company. I love it to the point to where it's like, okay, well, you got to love something else now. So so
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, yeah, I could definitely dig that. You know what? We got this new thing. Well, maybe it's not so new because we in the age of cell phone now. You know, it was much easier to do this thing called ghosting, folks. You know, so you know you'll think that you made a connection with somebody, and then you know you try to reach out to them, and your phone call is never answered. You never hear from them again, and everything like that. And that is another way that the hermit mode, it kind of shows up out there. Has anybody ever been either the victim of ghosting or had to just ghost somebody ever in their life? Has that ever happened for anybody?
You know what? I can say that I have been the victim, and but when I look at it like, you know what? I like being by myself, so maybe that's the energy that I put off. So
Yeah,
it's really it's yeah, it can go both ways. So I think a lot of the times it's because I'm so used to being by myself. I
yeah,
love talking to people on the phone. You know, I love connecting.
yeah.
Then at the same time, I love being by myself more. So
Mhm.
I have to ask myself, I think I'm pretty sure I'm the one that's causing the ghosting
Mm,
because I love being by myself. So it's kind of a contradiction for me. And, you know, just have to be mindful. So if I, you know, want to bring in more people, and sometimes I used to want to, like, I like being around people, but then I want to be around certain people and I want to attract certain types of energies. But I know that I can't control all of that. And I have to be open to, you know, just be open to the different energies and just work with people accordingly. And, you know, back in the day, I used to feel like, you know, I love attention, but I
mm,
only want a certain type of attention.
right.
So I don't draw any attention to me because I want to choose what I can, but that's not up to me. It's,
Right.
you know,
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. Definitely. Yeah, that whole energy of ghosting, I think I've seen it on both ends for me. I've been the victim of being ghosted, especially um, as my spirituality began to expand. A lot of people, you know, unfriended me and shit on Facebook, and you know what I'm saying, and blocked my call, whatever, you know, shit like that. Most of them were
wow.
people that were
Mm,
related to me, and it's all good, you know, because you know, I come from a background, I've always been on a spiritual path. And, you know, we were taught, our teaching dictates that this expansion that we have, you know, is connected to evil. And so, you know, with that, you know, they'll tell you, you know, you know what I'm saying? It's just imprinted in us that, you know, looking any further, you know, you wrong for that. So, you know,
mm-hmm.
and that's okay. Then on the other end, you know, I've definitely gotten into a space where, I just ghosted some folks, but, that was, all because of that relationship. It was time for it to end. It was an
Yes.
artificial connection. And sometimes, being a highly sensitive being, you can see through a lot of things, right? There's some things you realize because as you do work, you just understand how humanity works. It's not a big deal, right? But then there's some times where you realize the connection that you have is truly artificial.
Yes. And it's
And
like
so,
my soul cannot even function. I was shut down. Like I just sit there. Like people are trying to include me in the conversations. If I'm with some around people and they're trying to include me, I sit there and pretend like I'm like, no, I can't get involved. Can't
absolutely,
get involved.
absolutely.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, absolutely. And
So
me,
is that?
go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
I just had a question. Like, is there a more refined definition of what ghosting is? Because it almost sounds like observing people without their knowledge. Is that what that is?
Well, here's where my understanding is, because I ain't as hip to the terms, right?
Me neither. That's what I'm trying to find
Right.
out.
I'm gonna put you down where I'm at. This is what I learned this from my kids. All right. So, from what my understanding is, when you have been ghosted, this is when somebody either blocks your number so that you can't contact them, they unfriend you on social media so you can't reach out to them that way. They never return your phone calls. They never call you back. You never hear from them again. They completely vanish from sight. That's what my understanding is.
Oh, okay. It, go. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why they're using that word, but like,
Right.
yeah,
Sounds like
cutting
Dante does some
people off.
ghosting.
Right.
I mean, whoever's energy, like if you feel like somebody, like, let's say, is just full of shit, like, ghost them. Like, I'm not. Why waste any time? Like, if I'm trying to stay in the frequency of love and somebody's constantly in the frequency of friction and bull and just being petty and stupid, why waste any time entertaining? Like, you don't get too much time. It might seem like life is long according to what you're going through, but as I about to hit 40 for sure, just knowing that number, like, I don't feel that way and really don't look like I'm finna hit 40, but I'm saying, like, I value my time. Like, why pay any attention? It's like studying, what's underneath your neighbor's carpet, or it's like yeah, like doing that, like studying some unnecessary shit, like how many, like what ants eat for dinner type of shit. Like, if it don't resonate with you, why entertain it if it don't resonate with you? Oh
Right.
yeah, I've ghost
Right.
You know
people,
what?
family members and all that shit.
I don't feel bad at all, but I'm the biggest ghoster on the planet in the terms of the definition of the word ghost, because I
Why
do
not
not.
be that though? Why it shouldn't be no guilty or nothing about
It's
ever.
there,
I'm trying to find
that's
out
the thing.
how to
There's
make
no
it.
guilt with it for me, because this is the thing.
Mm,
When you attach your expectations to me, that's when I realize that's more than what I should be carrying. And
Mm-hmm.
so people's expectations of you will drive you crazy if you allow it. And so whenever I feel like my scales are tipped, like you expect me to call you every day, you expect me to cheer you up every day, all of these expectations, then I relax. I don't call it ghosting. I relax myself. You'll call, and if you're not in my momentum, I won't answer the phone. There's no shade. There's nothing that I'm doing that's disallowing you from continuing to be yourself. If you want to send well wishes, do that. I always send out well wishes and things like that. But as far as allowing people into my directum, it will always be by invite and invite only. Always. So there's, they
perfect.
use the word ghosting. They use the word ghosting to shame somebody for owning their own energy.
I
You
heard
know,
that.
so and it's just like, I don't subscribe to that. So when people tell me that, I be like, oh wow, that's horrible. I mean, because there's, I'm going to allow you to figure out what that means for yourself.
Mhm.
And, I don't want to take away from anybody where they may be at that point in their lives. I don't want them to make me the center focus. I don't want them to focus on me and things like that. So I just allow people to feel however they feel regarding it. And so it is a tactic it is a term to try to shame people for owning their own energy and their time. So that's why you probably are not too familiar with it, Dante, because you're going to own your time and your attention because that's what you should do. So yeah, I'm the
Yeah,
biggest ghoster.
right.
Oh,
And you know what? And you're a friendly ghost. But so if if
Absolutely, absolutely.
Casper the friendly
And
ghost.
that's the thing. We
But
all
the
should be
thing
a
is though,
friendly ghost.
that's why I was speaking on it and why I was trying to get a more refined definition of it,
Gotcha.
because it's ghosting. The sound and the frequency of that word sounds like it could be so many things, and it sounds like something that can be considered negative when you
Right.
just hear the word
Right.
ghosting. How about ignoring people that ain't on your frequency? Like, I'd rather say that, and that's what it is. Like, it's no, now all of a sudden, because I'm big on words, even though I'm not a wordsmith like that, I do know how to write and put words in a certain way and convey messages however I need to convey them. So if somebody's saying you're ghosting me, like that's a way, that's like a vampire tactic to like get you exactly like how y'all saying, like feel bad, like, oh, I'm acting funny now, or like even the term acting brand new. It's like, no, I am every second is brand new because
Right.
the
Absolutely.
past doesn't exist anymore. So
Right.
if I feel like changing something about me, I'm acting brand new. Why the fuck am I gonna be brand old? Like what?
Word.
Why act old? Like why act anyway? Unless I feel like acting like it. Like who's making those rules? Where's the rule book at that says,
Right.
or
And because that comes from places of, people not really understanding that you own your own divinity. I promise you, I smile with love. So when you said friendly ghoster, I am your friendly ghoster. I'm going to let you have you and all your emotions, boo, until you figure it out.
I
And
know.
that's what I'd be like, I'm gonna let you have your emotions, boo. And boo is what ghosts say. So I really am a friendly ghost, Dante.
That is dope. That is dope, dope, dope. Hey, I just want to thank all of you for joining the cipher today and bringing such powerful insight and just showing up in a big and impactful way. I want to close it out, but I want to deliver this message that Spirit gave me this morning on this whole hermit energy before I close it out. And it says, solitude, it brings us to a place where we can gather our thoughts in
are you
peace.
ghosting us by closing it out like that? I thought we
I'm
was
like
doing
that.
something good.
Let me
Never
finish
mind.
this message. I'm gonna just finish this message quickly. Solitude brings us to a place where we can gather our thoughts in peace. However, too much solitude can be to our detriment. It can make us disconnected from reality that is happening around us. Now, don't get me wrong, it's good to develop our spiritual muscles, and it's also good that we develop our social muscles. It makes us more effective. We actually demonstrate the work that we have been doing by interacting with those around us that may not really get our path. They see it working for you. You don't respond to the world the same. You show up different. People notice that and they get curious as to what you're doing, especially when their lives are not really going the way they hope. And maybe all things are in place, yet there is something missing internally that is bringing itself to the external. We need to be aware, to be sensitive to the needs of others, and it can't be accomplished if we isolate ourselves in this cocoon that is our world and never allow anyone access. We are social beings. We came here for connection. We do light up the world. And if we hide, do we light up the world if we hide in the dark? And I know that it's tempting to stay in and hide out at the world because the world can be a very cold place. And this is essentially the reason that it is imperative that we get out and make an impact by bringing our light into this world. because it is not about us. And we forget that all of this work is about ascension. And how do we ascend? How do we ascend without a test to see if we made progress? It's time to get out and show out and stop waiting for validation from others to shine when our light is bright and pure and true. It blinds some. They have a hard time seeing you, and it doesn't matter. Show up anyway. They'll understand later. You, my love, have some serious work to do. And we must overcome our humanity to people please and hold true to our North Star in plain sight where everyone can see it. This is how we're most effective. Leave the rest right where it's at because it really doesn't matter. That's what Spirit gave me this morning on that whole energy of the hermit. And I'm sorry I had to mute you because I want to make sure that we get that, because Spirit gave that to me. And one thing I do not do is play around with Spirit. But if anybody has anything that they would like to say before I call this meeting a wrap, you can go ahead and do that at this particular time, my loves. Nope.
Yeah, my bad. I thought I muted myself. I was done talking too. If you was just talking to me, I think you was talking to me, right?
I was, love. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. No, I muted me too. I was just throwing that in there because, yeah, I make jokes. I'm a jokey joke. So that's it. I ain't
It's
no say.
all good.
I'm not trying to
Dante,
cut
you
off
always
Spirit.
come in here bringing that energy, and I love that, man. And you real talk, you real folks out here in these streets. So you know, this is how we show up and light it up out here. You know, you be
Oh,
careful
okay.
climbing them damn trees too, fam.
Very careful.
You're very careful.
Yeah, but how you brought it is exactly how it works within my life. You know, I know that when I charge myself up, I'm ready to run out there around the people and share it and share it. And then when I get depleted, I go back into my hermit mode. You know, I had a girlfriend tell me that at work. She called me Nanny McPhee, and I've never seen that movie. And she was like, "You show up when it's needed, and then you just disappear." Nanny McVie or something like that. So I have to watch that movie because I still haven't watched it. But when I was working, that's what she told me. And so, you know, I totally get the charge up. I do it for the charge up. And then I go out there amongst the world and I do it until I'm depleted. And then I come back. That has always been my repertoire. Now, as I'm older and I see I need to take naps during the day now and stuff like that, I'm reconfiguring how and when it's best to charge myself up, because there's a lot of information coming right now. And I mean, just so much. So when you said a constant channel, I don't even know where to begin to communicate what I'm getting. So I know I have to completely go close off and ground right now. So the hermit is definitely something I need to do. And I need to go get a hotel room for 3 days and be in blackness. That's how bad I need to be in hermit mode right now.
I know that's
So
right.
I receive all of that.
I know that's
But
right.
I don't stay there, because I know some Virgos who do that and they are so kooky. Like, dude, what's the problem?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. You know what I'm saying? I have
that's
a lot
pretty
of
much where
Virgo
I'm
in
at
my
with it.
chart. So yeah, I do it. My daughter's a Virgo. She does it all of the time, and you know what I'm saying? And we can definitely get in that kooky space when we spend too much time alone, no doubt. So Goddess Rod, did you want to say something before we close that out?
No, I was thinking my true sign is Virgo, so that would explain that would explain why I love to be by myself.
Absolutely. 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 But listen, thank you guys so much for participating in this cipher. I love and appreciate all of you. It is some soul family shit going on right now. So peace and light and peace and love to you all. I just want to thank you. I'm so appreciative right about now. So peace, y'all.
Yeah, have a good love.
Peace.
Deuces.